is going on, guys? Spazmattic here, back inside Destiny, and today I'm going to be bringing you guys another build slash setup review. Instead of the Night Stalker this time, I'll be going over the Bladedancer, because I'm just going to do these little reviews slash build setups for all the characters, probably not all of them, but probably one of the better ones, or the ones I mostly use, because I haven't done these build setups in like over a year, or like a year or so. So I'm gonna going over some like new builds, I guess, because the Night Stalker one was definitely outdated from the one I uploaded last year. So I wanted to redo that one, but I want to redo the Blade because it is another Hunter Super. It's like the next one in line after the Night Stalker, and it's really not that great right now. But I think what I run for whenever I do run the Bladedancer, it's pretty good. It's a pretty good build. I highly recommend it. Not forcing you guys to run this, but it is a pretty decent build that I like to run. The weapons are pretty self-explanatory, the same ones as my other video. If you guys want to check out my Night Stalker build, that's in my class builds playlist on my YouTube channel. You guys can check that out. But the weapons are pretty similar. Suros PDX, Matador, Quillem's Terminus, doesn't really matter about Heavy, Thunderlord, stuff like that. But the weapons are pretty self-explanatory, like I said, but the armor is a little different. Obviously, I like to run Intellect Discipline with Tier 1 Strength. Instead of Discipline Strength for the Night Stalker, I like to run Intellect Discipline. And armor is pretty self-explanatory as well. This is King's Fall armor, Iron Banner, Trials of Osiris. So this is like Taken King armor, which I got the Bones of Aal, really good for increased control instead of Blink, because I don't run Blink anymore. The recovery with Blink is pretty bad, so I like to run Bones of Aal with increased control. The Iron Stalker Cloak is the same one that I wear on my Night Stalker, 35-25 Intellect Discipline. Same with the Ghost. Ghost is the same as well. And the artifact is the Fist of 8 Moons. I got this from the King's Fall raid, I'm pretty sure. Intellect Discipline. I'm only running this instead of like an artifact, like the Iron Lord ones, because I do not have an Iron Lord artifact that's good that has Intellect Discipline, because Tarakarn just never sells Intellect Discipline artifacts, apparently. I don't know why. I do have this one, though, the Memory of Parun Intellect Discipline, but it really isn't that great of an artifact compared to, like, I don't even know, Yolder, Galeons, or Scory. I think that's the damage over time one. But Parun's, it's all right. I'll probably rank it up or level it up and use it, because it is better than nothing. So, enemy guardians with full supers and all enemies are with low health are highlighted. I'll probably just run with this for now until Tarakarn sells a pretty decent Intellect Discipline artifact. But for now, I'm just running with the Fist of 8 Moons, and it's it's not terrible, but I mean it's good for Intellect Discipline and stuff like that. So to go over my build, the setup tree for the Bladedancer. Obviously, for the grenade, you probably want to run skip grenades. As you guys know, they are probably one of the best grenades inside of Destiny right now, in my opinion at least, especially with the Shinobu's Vow, which I think I have them, but I just have to get them from the kiosk. So they're pretty good. Skip grenades are really annoying to play against. If you see a Bladedancer with Shinobu's Vow on, it can be really annoying whenever you see a skip grenade thrown at you. So for the jump, obviously I like to run increased control with Bones of Aal, because Blink, look, yeah, that recovery that recovery is pretty bad. So I like to run better control with the Bones of Aal. For the super, you can run basically whenever you want. I've seen a lot of people use all three of these. They're all pretty decent. Showstopper probably not as much, but Razor's Edge and Vanish are probably the best two. I kind of switch them up back and forth between each other, because they're both pretty good. Whenever you pop your super, you can disappear, and you can press right trigger to go invisible again. And Razor's Edge, obviously you probably know what that is already, but it is pretty good as well. Really good for both PvE and PvP and PvE, even though I really don't use Bladedancer inside of PvE that much. But if I did, I'd probably run a invisibility build, but I really don't use Blade at all, so I'll be going over that after my PvP build. But for PvP, I usually switch them up between Vanish and Razor's Edge. But for the melee, Blink Strike, I like to run Backstab or Fast Switch. Both are pretty good, because Fast Switch, you literally get your cooldown in literally like 10 seconds. So it's literally like running tier 5, or no, tier 15, because you got tier 5 Intellect Discipline and you got tier 5 Strength with Fast Switch, basically. So it's pretty good. But with Backstab, you guys know about the front stabs. That is still relevant inside of the Crucible, and you can front stab people with Backstab. So that's probably one of the two are probably really good to run with. But I like to run Backstab more than Fast Switch, because I like getting the chance at front stabbing someone, like mailing them one shot in the front. so it's pretty decent. But for the paths and the ways of the whatever, I like to run Fearless and Unknown because you can get max armor with this build, and and with Path Forgotten you get really bad recovery, especially with Blake. Wow, that's actually funny. You can get no recovery on a Bladedancer. I can't believe that's actually possible. That's kind of sad. But yeah, I like to run Path Unknown and Way of the Fearless. They're probably the best two because you get max armor with decent agility and recovery. Probably the best recovery you can get with max armor. And for the middle column here, I like to run Quick Draw. Obviously, like probably one of the best perks about this whole skill tree is Quick Draw. But if you guys are not a fan of Quick Draw, if you got a sniper with Quick Draw or something like that, you'll aim faster than Quick Draw. But if you are like a shotgunner or something like that, and you like the shotgun a lot, Fleet-footed is always there to increase max sprint speed and extend your slide distance. So it's pretty decent. But whenever I'm running PvP, I'm always running Quick Draw. And for the last column here, I know a lot of people, there are those people inside of the Crucible, inside of Trials, that run Stalker. I have no idea why. The Blade super really isn't that good anyways. So I like to run Hungering Blade because when you get a kill with Blade, you regenerate your health. And if you can't regenerate your health when you get a kill with Blade, it's pretty bad because Blade really isn't that strong of a super. I know it's probably one of the lower tier ones. I know it's still usable and really good, but it's pretty easy to counter with the shotgun melee, sniper to the headshot if you have a high impact sniper, stuff like that. But Stalker is there. I would not use it though inside of PvP. I'm the type of person to run Hungering Blade over Stalker any day. So this is what I typically run inside of PvP for the Bladedancer. If I ever ran PvE, which I probably never will, but if I did, I'd probably run Vanish with Escape Artist, Shadowjack, and Stalker, just because I know in raids and stuff like that, I don't. This is like year one because I don't use Bladedancer in PvE anymore, but in like year one, I always ran this build because you can go invisible. If you're like close to dying or something like that, you can literally just melee a thrall or an enemy and go invisible and stuff like that. But honestly, if I ever went to a raid with a Bladedancer, I'd probably just stick with my PvP build because you can get regenerate health, stuff like that. You get quick draw, backstab even works on PvE enemies. I'd probably run fast switch inside of PvE instead of backstab, but that is probably what I would run inside of PvP and PvE. Pretty self-explanatory. I know I say that a lot, but this is probably what I would run inside of PvP and PvE. You guys do not have to run this. I'm just bringing out a recommendation of what you guys should run for Bladedancer. I think it's really good. I used to main Bladedancer in year one and beginning of year two until it got pretty bad. But if I do run it ever, I'm always running this build, and it's been doing great for me. I haven't been playing much Destiny lately, which kind of sucks. I haven't been running much Bladedancer. I've been playing a lot of Night Stalker, which is why I did that video the other day of my Night Stalker build. But if I ever do run Blade inside of the Crucible or PvE activities, I'm always running with these setups. So like I said, this is what I run for my Bladedancer. If you guys got any other recommendations of what you guys like to run inside of these game modes, be sure to comment that down below. And I guess this will be coming up to the end of the video. If you guys enjoyed this review of my class setup build for the Bladedancer on my Hunter, don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys later back inside Destiny. Peace.